Testing 1 2 1 2. Hey guys, today is July the 13th of 2018. I want to do a market recap of the markets I've been watching and the trades and the recommendations. So, putting up a video disclaimer because I haven't done this on the live videos. Just pause the video and read the video disclaimers. Scroll this down. All right, got that out of the way. We're going to start out with uranium sector because I got the uranium bugs bugging me. When are you going to do a video on uranium? I know currencies are cool and Forex, but don't forget about us uranium bugs. All right, so let's go back. I always like recapping because trading, it's like a story. The market is telling a story. You always have to have a starting point. Daryl Degan said, try to get your starting point that starts in the beginning. But since we don't want to go all the way to the beginning of uranium, we start out at the low, the most current and recent low that hasn't been broken. And it's that November 9th of 2016. And you can see that it did a five-wave up, ABC correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. And now, this is where we're at. Got a nice buy in April, shot up June, and pulled back a little bit. And now it's the moving averages are below prices, so that's bullish. I like that. Now this is resistance, that 2368. We have to take that out. And mind you, this is the futures. This is the futures market of uranium. So far is looking good. This is resistance. Once we take that out, this is our next resistance up here. 2635 and obviously this 2875. These are the ones we got to take out. And if we're not going to take it out, we're going to push lower to retest these lows. You want to keep an eye on 2177, 2119, and this level right here, 2043. But so far it's looking good upwards. Let's look at URA ETF. That I'm remembering the last video I did in the uranium update. I can't remember if it was 611. Can't remember. I was telling you guys, don't buy uranium. It's going to sell off. This is a swing top. Wait till it pulls back and maybe, get your feet wet and buy, something small. But don't buy it now just because you got this big pop in this Momo. And look. As I predicted, it was a swing top, came down. I was forecasting somewhere around the 25th, 26th. Let me look at my calendar. I'm trying to go back by memory. Yeah, June, I was saying 25th, 26th, but there were some things with, definitely was that last week it was going to make a swing low, but I was leaning Monday and Tuesday. And it didn't pan out, but I was off by 2 days. So I made the low on the 28th. I was thinking Monday and Tuesday was going to be a swing low. And then it popped up. Now I got a nice pullback. So now we got to see if this low is going to hold. If not, then things have changed. But the forecast was that it was going to make a swing higher. I believe in July. I got to go back, look at my notes, and look at the charts. I haven't looked at it in a while because I've been more looking at the currency. But that was the update on the uranium sector. So if you bought in somewhere around here, you just got to keep cautious because it may retest this low. I have to look at I got to open the charts and look at the models, the forecasting models. I was working just on June. I work when I do my analysis. I work month to month, and sometimes I look at the big picture for the big target. But I take it month by month because always things are happening, news, events, things, cycles, you name it. It's complicated as it is to try to forecast like Gann did. He was the best into the future, into years. I'm not that good, so I'm getting good in regards to just dealing with a month. Just give me June. Let me work with June, and I can tell you exactly or close to what could possibly happen. But I'm not bad like Gann like that. I'm not that dude. But I gotta revisit uranium. So far, this is the price action, so let's see what's gonna happen. But my forecast of don't buy this here worked out really good, and I'm sure that affected some of the uranium stocks. So that's it with the uranium sector. That's the only sector I cover. The URA and the futures, and then I have the spot, which I haven't loaded up yet, but I'm just showing you the chart. You can look at the other stocks. Let's go into the Mexican, which was a recent trade I was in, and let's go into this chart over here. The Mexican peso. I got short right here at 2050-ish, somewhere around there, and got out right here at 1920. And it pushed lower. I got some traders like, why'd you get out? You got out so early. I had my target, and I had a cycle that was saying that it could possibly bounce, and it didn't bounce. It kept pushing lower. It hit the 61.8 or 62.7, whatever you want to call it, right here. And it's kind of holding, and you can see that the candle is narrowing down right here. So it's kind of giving you, that's why I like the Heikin Ashi. Let's open it up, and this is just on the daily. It's kind of telling you, you know what, things might be changing. It's giving you a little heads up. Be careful if you're short, because it's changing. It's changing. And let me see something here. Yeah, so I got it right. So next week, Monday, if this is still red, but it looks like this candle right here is just showing that it's up, then you got to be careful. But so far, everything is down. If you look at the 4 hour on the, where am I here? The 4 hour in the Mexican peso, you can see that it's the moving average. See, this is a high. I got short here, right at that part right there, and it just kept going down. It kept going up. I didn't get freaked out. It was like I'm waiting for my target, and I'm waiting for that push down. And bulls came in early, and they got pulled back, came up again. They pushed them down, failed the 50% level right here, kept going, and at that 1920, wherever that is at here, right here, I got out. And then it came up, and now you see that now it's like kind of forming a base. It's just kind of going sideways, consolidating, pops, going down, but it's not making any more new flushes like it did here. So you got to be careful now if you're short. Just tighten your stop. Maybe put one up here at the 1920 where I got out, and just see what happens next week. The dollar is bringing a lot of strength. It's bringing a lot of weakness actually to the markets, to the currencies, DXY. You can see, look at the dollar. Look how strong the dollar is. But there's a seasonality that says that the dollar should be going down now. So things are kind of a little wacky right now. But that's what's going on right here. So it's kind of catching everybody off guard. So that's why you have to just kind of watch the seasonalities. You got to watch the dollar if you trade currencies. You got to see what this bad boy is doing and when this guy is going to turn. But if it doesn't turn, it's going to be pressure on everybody else. So that's it for the Mexican peso. I'm not long. I'm out. I'm just watching it. I need to look at my notes again and see what is going to happen here in July. Let's go to the Aussie. It's another in the market I'm watching. And I'm watching this one close because, like I said in my videos, if you've been watching, June is normally a swing low. And I have some cycles that are showing that it's going to be turning. But it hasn't happened yet. This is the 50%. But look at the weekly. Look at the weekly candle. Look how it is. That's showing that there's a possibility that there's a turn. Yeah, it's negative. The moving average is below. Price is below the moving average is negative. But it was doing here the same thing here. But this is the wrong timing. I think this is the right timing. And if I'm wrong, it's going to push lower. And you can see all the other targets, 71.53, 69.99. And obviously the swing low on the weekly, which is at 68.26. So that's if it's going to go lower. So far, I think there's a swing low here, and we may go up. Once we start getting Momo going up, if it happens, then we have to figure out where's going to be the resistance and where's going to be the turn going up. Is it going to go up to retest the high, or it's just going to be a dead cat bounce, and then you just get out when it turns, and then you go right back down with it? So we got to see. So far, this is what the price action is saying on the Aussie. If you look at the daily, it's just chopped now. And you guys know, see the moving average. There's a strategy that I know this guy trades. It's really good. When the like this exactly, when the moving average is below, and if the price kisses it, you buy into strength. And this is like, I'm picturing this over here, and this is the outcome shooting up. This would be the same thing. When this price came down here, you just would have bought, but maybe it was early. But my strategy is when it's at the support at the moving average and it's green, then everything is lining up. So if this pulls back here and this is green and it just starts going up, then you're buying into strength, and you're buying at a discount. So it just start going up and trending up. But I'm still on the sideline. I'm still watching this. Got a sell signal on a daily. Thursday was statistically bullish. Normally it's green. And then we got a sell on Friday, and now it's kind of inside bar right here. So it's not either higher nor lower. So I think we're probably going to close somewhere around here inside this bar, and then see what's going to happen for next week. Let's see over here if I got anything here. Yeah, this is the hour. This is something I call the MAF Muri, and it just kind of gives me what's going on with the instruments. So the daily is weak, the weekly is weak, the monthly, well, it's not weak, it's neutral on the Aussie. The day is neutral, the weekly is neutral, the monthly is negative. If we look at the Mexican peso, and it's pretty much just levels and with a linear regression channel right here. This is a 15, this is a 4-hour, and a daily. So on the daily is neutral, on the weekly is still negative, and on the monthly is still negative. If you go to the URA, let's go back to the uranium. You can see that on the daily is negative, so that's not good. Weekly is neutral, and on the monthly it's a negative. What else I wanted to see? Somebody's asking me for the euro. What I thought about the euro. Daily euro is negative, weekly is negative, and monthly is neutral. So this is the ranges, and you're on a squeeze play on the monthly and the euro. You get this right here. I mean, it's not a monthly. The range that the calculation is done is on a monthly calculation, and this is on a weekly. But what you see in the chart is not really this is not the monthly. This chart right here is daily, 1 year daily. This one is a 4-hour, 90-day. and then this one is a 15-minute 10-day. So the calculations are here is for a day. This is for the week, a range of a week. So it's like a weekly calculation within a 4-hour chart, and this is the monthly. So it just kind of gives you right off the bat, you can look at it real quick. It's like, all right, so the day is week, on the weekly we're weak, and on the monthly we're kind of neutral. The CAD, the crude, it was my dog. The crude had a nice little sell-off. Let's go to the crude. Well, let's look at the CAD first. CAD, the daily is kind of neutral. Weekly is strong, and then the monthly is neutral. Look at it right here. You're above the 50%. Linear regressions are pointing up. So I remember last time I did a video. It was called Trending. The CAD was bullish. I was just saying buy the dips. And this is what right here. This is a daily. This is a high. Came back down, and this is where you're at right here, above the 50%. Found support at the 50. So this is kind of cool because this is the weekly. So this is. Let's open this up. You could just trade off of this. This is a 4-hour, so this is the 50%. And every time you go to the next week, these are the new levels that show up. So right here, you had this is the reverse. This is where it would normally reverse. This is a pivot. This is the range. This is the 50%. This is the range. So this would be normally a range, and when it blows out of the range, then this would be your pivots and resistance. And then this would be like your top. Like if it gets up there, you should probably just start, locking in, or not locking in, just kind of tightening your stops. And then you got this other low, which is an extended, which is called the MR1. When it goes up there, that's extreme. That's like the gas is pressed to the pedal, and it's just Momo. So you just want to just keep raising your stop, because sometimes when it gets here, it stalls out. And then you have another one that if it pushes even higher and it's up there, that's a place where you probably want to lock in profit. Somewhere around here. This is the 4-hour. Let me show you an example of like that. Let's look at the Mexican peso, because that one got sold off pretty hard. You can see that, let's see, so it was, let's close this out. You can see right here, when it hits it, you should lock in or maybe just go long. And when you see that it changes, just short it. And when you get here, just lock in. And look, it just keeps pushing and pushing. And this is where it's at now. Because you're like really extremely at the extreme levels. So that's a chart I have that I like looking at a lot. So, it could push lower. If it wants to really push, it will go all the way down here. But you can see that it's kind of balancing. It's not pushing. The price is not coming to this extreme pivot, which is the S2. Right here, right here, right here, right here. And this is the high. And that was a 4-hour. This is from the weekly. If you look at the monthly, you can see that on the monthly, that's why it makes sense that it's stalling. Because look, we're already here. It has to take a massive sell-off to go all the way down here. On the monthly. So it took its time, it sold off, and now here it's finding the support. And you can see that we're getting the yellow bars here from the squeeze. So showing that, it's slowly changing, and you can see that, reflected on the daily, which is right here, the daily chart. So that's it for me. I just wanted to do a market cap on that. I don't know what else. The pound. I haven't been looking at the pound. The ones I'm focused on is the Aussie. Now I'm going to be watching the Mexican peso to see if now it may want to retest and go up. So far it's not showing that, and I got to look at the timing of it. So there's a lot of things involved. I got a text from this trader. You know, he saw my video and he was like, "Man, you know, I saw your video. I'm not really into GAN stuff, but what's more important, the cycles or the price action?" And I told him, you know, in the text, I said, "That's a good question. Depending too what cycles you're talking about, because cycles it's a whole big world of cycles." I told him your best bet is that your cycles is kind of telling you if you got the right cycles, obviously, and you know what you're doing. You just can't just pick any cycles and be like, all right, this is saying it's going up, I'm going to buy. No, you have to back test. You got to look at the past. You got to see if these cycles affect the market, if it affects the Mexican peso, if you see some correlation behind it. And once you do some back testing, you see like, all right, this cycle, whatever it is, I'm leaving it open. You know, you can use whatever cycle, whatever that is that's working. And then you'd be like, all right, this has worked, you know, 65% of the time in the past. So now you're looking into the future and you're saying, all right, so this is what this cycle is saying that this is going to go up, or let's say the Mexican peso is going to go up. The cycle is going to go up. What's more important, that cycle or price action? I told them your cycle is kind of your guide. Okay, so it's kind of giving you a direction and you're being discretionary in the sense that this is what I'm following. But at the end of the day, price action, the peso is going to tell you what it's really going to do. Because I've seen cycles that, and I see it all the time, they just go like this, whatever cycle you have, and it goes like this. And you're like, man, that's it. That's it. This is the low. That's it. That's the low. I believe it. The cycles are turning. I back tested this thing, and every time this thing goes like this, and it shows me that wick like that, that means that there's a low, and I'm going to buy it. And then you buy it, and you put your stop right here, and then the next day, the market goes like this and takes you out. And you're like, what happened? And with my history, what happens is that something else is influencing the market that you don't know or you haven't discovered it yet. Or a bigger cycle. It's just something else that is influencing it, and the cycle is not going to work. Another thing I told them too, sometimes the cycles stop working. So if you had some success rate with the market, and one day the cycle does that, and the market goes like that, the cycle is void. It doesn't work no more. There's a new cycle that kicked in that maybe got picked up from that high, and is taking control of that market now. That's why GAN stuff is so hard and complicated. If you want to be really good, like he was, you have to look at so many things and have that mind, that open mind to try to find it and see it and back test it and then get good at that. Even getting good at when the market is not even following your cycle and it's changing, you just change with it and then you just back test and just look what happened. Why is the Mexican peso now still going lower when the cycles are saying that are going up? Something is influencing it. So then you have to like find it. And once you find it and you see it following it, then that's the new cycle that kicked in. And you can't forget the mathematics. You know, a lot of people just wants to do the astro stuff and the planetary systems and everything, but they forget the mathematics. They forget the basics. You know, all the stuff that he wrote on all his manuals and all that stuff. So that's the stuff you gotta read, and you gotta always have it on the back of your mind and incorporate it with your trading. That's why it's just a big system. And you can see it in my videos I posted in the past. Price, time, days, weeks, yearly, it's all that stuff. That's why those big hedge funds that I mentioned on the machine learning, those guys have all that stuff computerized. That's all computerized, man. They're not number crunching the way I'm doing it now and trying to get all that stuff together. They got all computers analyzing that. Analyzing the days, the weeks, the seasons, seasonalities, using physics, everything to get an edge on everybody else. And they got all these high-tech computers doing that. And it just shows a report, or it does it automatically, and it does the trades, and it just makes money. If Gann had that in his time, he would have been the biggest hedge fund ever, the richest. But he didn't have that. He was doing that over his mind. That's why he's a genius. Well, I'm going to sign out. There's nothing else I can think of as showing. I'm just looking at the markets, and I'm going to keep an eye on the Aussie. Give my mind a break because I have so much information in there, and it's just sometimes it goes nuts. And that's it, man. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Make some money, and I'll see you again.